Hey, it's Rich Vision. I am so excited. Today is my first release of my new single, And the Stigma, on Spotify, on all digital platforms. I'm just mixed emotions right now because this has been like a year or so in the making. So this is really, for me, it's just incredible. Um, this feeling that it's so accomplished right now, just to have something out for so long. I haven't put out music and it's just been daunting on me. Um, let's get to this. Congratulations. Hey, um, hello. Okay, so I hear myself now. I don't know who's gonna join on this live kind of last minute. I'm excited because I have my new single released today at 5 p.m. So it's already 5:41. But I'm excited because it's my new single. I'm excited because it's been a year in the making and it's been, emotionally, um, one of those emotional days where it's just like happy, sad, and all of that combined. And I'm just so thankful for everyone who has been, will support and held space for me when I was going through my darkest days. And I want to shout out, before anything, God for just putting the right people in my life at the right time um to be able to just be transparent and help me, along my way to make sure that I'm okay and to make sure I'm here another day. So I'm thankful for that. Um, a couple of people um I definitely want to thank is, my producer, Geeko, for just having the patience to work with me when the clarity was a little bit off on my end. It was difficult to work with, but this, I'm excited. I'm gonna also share the song as well here, um, live so you guys can hear it too. But yeah, I'm just thankful for this moment, really, just to have out a song and it being like 7 years or so since I've released anything. So it's been, it's been a long road, but finally here. I'm excited. I want to thank my coach who's been coaching me for the last couple months on the song, the flow, delivery, every single thing. He's been helping me shape that and gone to the studio with his help and this year nailed it. And he's just amazing. Komais, thank you so much for coaching me. Thank you for just keeping me, on my toes and keeping me, going and always encouraging me. Thank you for just being there. Also, thank you want to thank the person who held space for me the most when I was, suicidal. I want to thank Elle, and because of the fact that, she was there, she held space for me. Regardless if we talk right now, it's irrelevant, but right now I just know that God puts people in, my life for a reason and for a season. And regardless of the season, I know it was for me to share my story and my song with people who are going through the same things as I am. So that is my yeah, that's just for me to just share because that's just something that I want to share with you guys. Transparency and the things I went through just through the with the producer, going back with back and forth with the producer and all of this stuff, almost giving up on myself. Like I remember talking to my sister the day of the recording, two things occurred, and I'm like, God, like every time I have to go into the studio, there's always something, and I'm just like, dang. And I'm like, you know, the studio I had booked ended up doubling the price on me last minute, and they were in the middle of moving, so I was dealing with that. I was just dealing with a lot of stuff and just thinking like, man, like why is things coming against me when I'm trying to put out music that's, has the power to save a life. And I was thinking like, oh man, then I ended up having to go to another studio last minute that I didn't want to go to. just to get it done, because I'm like, I'm not gonna give up on the single, even though I was like 2 seconds. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, man, freak this, man. I don't care about the single no more. Because it just seemed like everything was just coming against me at the time when I was already moving forward and I already had rehearsed for the song. And even during time I also felt very like nervous, because I'm like, okay, it's the time to go and commit to what your goal is, which is to put out the single and to work on my record, my EP, which I'm excited about. And this single is the first single off of my EP that is coming out later on this year. So even with going through that, even going through the stuff with the engineer, like the back and forth, getting the track outs for the song, and it was just like I was getting like a couple of the track outs for my song and not the full, and I'm like, I didn't pay for for me to get the something that's like half done. So it's just felt like it was a lot of stuff not only coming against me, but I also realized that okay, I'm learning through this. I'm like, okay, things are not always gonna be either quick or to my liking, regardless. Life is just like you take the good and the bad, right? And I learned to just be patient with everything and know that it is not my timing, it's God's timing. And my desire was to release it this in May, because May is mental health awareness month, and that was my goal, to just make sure that it releases in May. And I got out today, so I'm excited for it. I won't be too long-winded just because I have a meeting, but I just want to just give my gratitude today, because this is a special day. I'm gonna play the song. If you haven't heard it, please stream it. Please support. It's not just a song. It's really inner peace. It's really fighting for your inner peace, fighting for your purpose. Like it's really came from a dark place. And when I wrote it, I realized that going through it, I'm like, okay, this song has to be an anthem for people who are struggling with mental health issues. Um, it's something that they can play and say, wow, like he went through this and he's on the other side of it, and I can be that person too, you know? And that's my story, that's my narrative, that's what it is. As far as the song, it's like I want people to hear it, to just be inspired and empowered, that no matter what they go through, like they could see the other side of their struggles, and they could just embrace, like, every dark moment is not it's not happening to them, but for them. And when I say for them, it's happening because it's meant to serve someone else. And that's how I feel when I started working on this record. It's like, this is gonna help someone. It's helped me. This, even sometimes hearing the lyrics, I'm like, wow, like taken back, because of the fact that I remember the stories, I remember the gaslighting, I remember the mental abuse. And I'm not I'm not even trying to be like play victim, but it's just like when you've been through such hard times, you realize how grateful you are for just being here to be able to speak about it. Because, you know, again, it could have been the other way around, right? I wouldn't be here to speak about it. So that's just a blessing. And today, I'm so happy because of the fact that I have, you know, I'm bearing my soul on this record. And I was journaling in the morning, and I started crying. I was just like, because it's been a long time since I put out anything, and it's just I wanted to give something to people of of a story of what I was going through, because during the pandemic was hard. And a lot of the most times I was just honestly isolated to myself in my room, working on my songs, and thinking about these different things I've gone through and was going through at the time, that I really didn't tell much people. And I was reflecting this morning, and this is what I wrote. I am so happy that today I released my single, and it brings me complete joy because I wanted to give up on the song. I'm crying now because I know the moments where I did, when I gave a mentor so much power, but it was when I told myself I can't give up on me. I can't give up on the people who my music is meant to serve. A and I truly and it truly kept me going because I wouldn't believe I didn't have people who believed in me more than I I'm sorry, because I couldn't be here if I didn't have people who believed in me more than I believed in myself. I know that God makes no mistakes. I know that he used mental abuse for me, not against me. It hurt me, but I know that there's a reason it happened because God knew that I could handle it and I was able to get onto the other side of this mental abuse because I wasn't afraid. But because I wasn't afraid, but also I was afraid. I was both. And but I did have shame, but it still didn't stop me from confiding in a person who was there. I was so grateful that she didn't give up on me when I wanted to give up on myself. And I realized that God will put people in your life for a reason and for a season, which I mentioned earlier. And so I can't resent a person who was instrumental in my life when I was daydreaming about overdosing, right, on pills because of the fact that I was going through mental abuse. And this is like a real story. Um, and basically I wrote, I'm so grateful that I could see, my testimony, to hear others with the same traumas in their lives so that they realize that they are so worthy to be here, just like I am to be here. And yeah, I'm gonna play the record. My meeting is in a couple, but I just wanted to just be honest and share. Um, hey Omar, how are you? Thank you for signing on and watching me live. I don't do this often, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit uncomfortable, but I wanted to do this for people who wanted to like hear the story of the stuff I was going through when I was, you know, about to release a single, and just share my heart, right? The single is out, so if you want to support, please support. This is not just a song, it's a movement. It's a movement. I have the custom wristbands and the stigma, um, because like I said, it's a movement. It's not just like a party record or something like that. It's like, no, mental health is really important, and we also have to prioritize that um more than we think. Hey, Ver, how are you? So I'm excited that the single's out. I'm gonna play it because I have a meeting, but I'm just thankful for everyone who does stream it, does share it. Please support mental health because again, it's important. I feel like, we need people who stand up against these things, for like a cause, right? Because we want to see better in our community. And it's disheartening that suicide is on the rise, and that's the reason why I'm here, because I need to be the voice for the voiceless. I need to be the hope for the hopeless, and that's my calling. And that's the reason I put out the song Under Stigma, because my song is is the movement of ending the stigma, because I'm like, no, like we got to do better. Like we can't go through these situations and just commit suicide. We have to figure out a way to stay here a bit longer, because people are able to use our story, right? And be able to just find freedom in our story. And trust me, I've been suicidal a lot, but I noticed that, there was people who held space for me, and that this gave me confidence to say, I am enough. I have something to contribute to society. with my music, with my songs, and I'm gonna play it right now because yeah, it's just a very emotional day for me. So I thank you even for just being here, sharing space with me. I definitely will be sharing a lot more these next couple months about the backstory of this record, how it came about, people who I worked with, and things like that. So yeah, thank you, bro. I appreciate you. I'm gonna um I'm gonna play the song. It's on Spotify. It's on all streaming platforms. So whatever platform you prefer to listen to the record. I'm working on getting some things done as far as getting some content out for the single as well. So I'm gonna play the song. Let's see. Who's excited for new music? Man, I am because I'm like, dang, it's been a hot minute since I've released any songs. So I'm like, I'm super like excited.
This week, we're tackling the difficult topic of suicide as numbers rise at startling rates, especially among young people. Suicide rates jumped 33% between 1999 and 2019, and then there was a small decrease in 2020. But to put it into perspective, 46,000 people died by suicide in 2020.
The stigma and the stigma. Freedom struggle and the stigma and the stigma and the stigma. Take back my life, yeah, change the picture. And the stigma and the stigma. Freedom struggle and the stigma and the stigma and the stigma. Take back my life, yeah, change the picture. And all I know, just you told me just to let it go. That's cliche when you never go my close, you know. Instead of dark room with no kids, like 2 seconds on my deathbed, contemplated suicide. Stared at the white sitting, while I'm still here for a minute to squander money from someone was prepared. Tears from my eyes that I couldn't conceal. Was it cognizant that mental abuse is real? Used to be a statistic. I was being realistic. Don't point the fingers. I escaped to prison and had risen from the ashes, and I'm choosing to move past it. I refuse to be stagnant. No one's welcome to my sadness. And the stigma, and the stigma, freedom struggle, and I end the stigma, and the stigma, and the stigma. Take back my life, get change the picture, and the stigma, and the stigma, freedom struggle, and the stigma, and the stigma, and the stigma. Take back my life, yeah, change the picture. I refused to give up on the life that I had. No rules will come between the purpose that I had for my life to be that hope for society and remind me that's why I'm still breathing. I start calling myself worth it. I know my worth. I'm at your door, man. I rose up and under dirt. I have too many lives saved. I refuse to quit. Reaching out was not a sign of weakness. On my second police, my friend, yes, was my reason to continue and work with less spiritual healing. To remind me that I'm way too worthy to compromise, to get my head like, yes, I'm a target tonight. And the stigma, and the stigma, freedom struggle, and the stigma, and the stigma, and the stigma. Take back my life, yeah, change the picture. And the stigma, and the stigma. Freedom struggle and the stigma, and the stigma. Take back my life, yeah, change the picture.
Fighting for misfits, fighting for cause, fighting statistics, fighting inner scars, fighting for misfits, fighting for cause, fighting statistics, fighting inner scars, fighting for misfits, fighting for cause, fighting statistics, fighting inner scars, fighting for misfits, fighting for cause, fighting statistics, fighting inner scars. Blaming myself for therapy was beneath me. Hating myself, just that never saved me. Saying also fade in the mirror, I change. Either leave my mark or let suicide be replaced. Every therapy session built a foundation to heal a future generation. To go dose of patience and meditation. Healing resides in the darkest places, and I embrace my Yet I'm not a victim to my circumstances. I locked in mental prison, freed from under your trances. I will never outsource yes, my happiness. I refuse to give my power to a narcissist. And the stigma, and the stigma, freedom struggle, and the stigma, and the stigma. But my life brings the stigma, and the stigma, freedom struggle, and the stigma.
Stigma,
Thank you, guys.
stigma, take back my life, yeah, change the picture.
Yeah. So that's my new single. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you guys for tuning in. I have a meeting now, but I just wanted to share the song with you if you haven't heard. It and the Stigma is also on all digital platforms, streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, um, all the other streaming platforms. Please, if you want, like, reach out, DM me, let me know what you think. Please share the song if you like the song, if you support mental health. Please support. I really appreciate it. More than you know. Yeah, because it's been a long time in the making. So this is really a moment for me to be able to just like share something that I've worked so hard on behind the scenes. Um, coming to fruition. It's just incredible. Um, but yeah, I definitely will be catching you guys soon, sooner than later. I will be working on more content for the single the next couple of months. And yeah, please, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for supporting the movement and the song. Please share the song. And for someone who you feel needs to hear the song, that will encourage them. And thank you again. Take care.